This is The Last Angry Geek. Hi everybody, this is my commentary track for Video Game Confessions. My chance to tell you just what the hell I was thinking when I came up with this. In fact, I don't remember when I came up with the exact idea. I just remember pitching it to Doug, and he went nuts for it. He's like, oh yeah, and you can't understand what he's drawing, or you can't understand what he's saying. I said, well, we have to pull it back a little bit. I want to tell a story here. So, I mean, there's some nonsense stuff. There's some points where he's speaking gibberish and drawing things, and you don't know how it fits into the story. And I wanted to work that out, so there was one in the middle, one at the beginning, one at the end, but it all kind of ended up being like one in the middle and two at the end, because the first half gets taken up setting up the story. If you want to know where Frenchie came from, part of that is I'm a big Marx Brothers fan, and that wig is the one I wore for 2010 Halloween when I went as Harpo. And in fact, a friend of mine, Dan, gave me Harpo's autobiography, Harpo Speaks, and the Marx Brothers' father was named Frenchie. They were Germans who immigrated to France and then to New York City. So that's where the name and the wig come from. It's all the Marx Brothers. The attitude is partly Sean Connery on Celebrity Jeopardy, as played by Daryl Hammond, that Trebek, I rogered your mother. That kind of just supreme arrogance and disrespect. And it's mostly the accent, and a lot of people said, the Hitcher from Mighty Boosh, and yeah, it was the Hitcher, a lot of that. You know, there's a really horrible line that I had in there right up until the last minute where he's talking about the roofies. At one point he said, oh, respect roofies, sometimes it's the only way to get the job done, hey! And the more I watched, the more I realized how wrong that line was. I mean, you can not like Frenchie, but you shouldn't hate him. You shouldn't be completely despicable. So that was like right up there until maybe half a day before this went online, and I finally pulled it out, and I think that was the right thing to do. Like I said, Frenchie should be unlikable. He shouldn't be a monster. Roofies are just wrong. Most of the story I came up with, I have a very long drive to and from work Monday through Friday. And I just remember on one night home, I just improv this whole story. I think Link is kind of the unsung hero of Video Game Confessions. I just love that this, lovable little imp of a hero from our childhood is now this horrible sexual deviant. I don't know why that appeals to me so much, but I just like the idea that he, through the course of his evil actions, he somehow gets outed to his own father, who can't comprehend that this very flamboyant character is possibly gay. Man. So, I mean, I think most of this was just me. Like I said, I riffed most of this on the way home. It just kind of came to me. There's the Angry Birds. God, that looks horrible. They're sitting on telephone wires, but I just hand drew those, and I wish I used like a French curve or something because they look just awful. The kitty, the pussy joke. You're supposed to see me drawing the cat. When I went back and looked at the footage, I realized the cat was off camera when I drew it, so I had that scene of me positioning the paper. That was the best I could do to draw attention to the cat. And yes, Link's men are wearing assless chaps. The aforementioned roommates. And there's the portal, Gladys setting up the cake, and nobody really commented on that. I was kind of surprised because the Gladys and portal has been another kind of reoccurring theme in Video Game Confessions. I think the genesis for this story was I was in Scotland once, and I got lost and was trying to find my hotel, and I asked a policeman for directions home. And even though every word out of his mouth was English, I could not understand a word he was saying. It was just the dialect. I just like the idea that there's, someone who can speak the same language as you, but due to dialects or, little eccentricities, I guess, you just can't understand what they're saying. There's Dominic pissing the floor. That's so classy, right? Somebody said Colin Baker. He's wearing a scarf. It's clearly Frenchie dressed up as Tom Baker. I know how to draw Daleks, Tom Servo, and Crow. I can just draw those three all day without a reference. I just trained myself to draw those three when I was a kid and never looked back, and this is the first time it actually paid off. At the end, you'll see Dominic coming up. Doug was very good about this. Doug said, come over, we'll film it on the set so it can maintain the look and everything. He really got behind this. He's always been very good to me. The only thing we didn't do is... Frenchie has his heart attack and dies. The only thing we didn't do is film his stuff when I was there, and he sent it to me via Skype, but then it didn't transmit properly, and I didn't get back to him until a few days later, and they said, oh, but I just deleted it, so he had to refilm that little cameo at the end. Well, this was my commentary for Video Game Confessions. Hey, would you like to hear more commentaries? Maybe commentaries on True Internet Story? Let me know in the comments section of this video. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian Hines, your last angry geek.
He said what?